Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the Australian Small Business Advisory Services Program Information Webinar. My name is Rob Aileen and I'll be hosting today's session. I'd like to welcome everyone who's joining us from across the country. And before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land we are gathered on here in Canberra and pay my respects to their elders past, present and future. I extend this respect to all Indigenous people participating in today's session. Joining me for today's session are panellists Anne Scott, Principal Advisor in the Small Business Competitiveness and Consumer Policy Division at the Treasury, and Graham Tanton, the General Manager of Business Online Services and Small Business Programs within AusIndustry at the Department of Industry. Today's webinar will consist of a brief presentation providing an overview of the program and its priorities, followed by an opportunity for you to submit questions to Anne and Graham. Now you can submit a question at any time during the webinar and they'll be answered once the presentations have been completed. To ask a question, go to the bottom of the screen, the bottom of the right-hand side of your screen, where there's a light grey toolbar with a speech bubble icon. If you hover over that speech icon with your mouse, you'll see the text "Ask a question." Simply click on the speech bubble, type your question and press enter. We'll aim to get through as many questions as we possibly can through today's session. However, if we don't have time for them all, they'll be included in the Frequently Asked Questions document, which is available on business.gov.au. And if you have any further questions after today's webinar, you can go to business.gov.au or call 13 28 46. Now finally, before we kick off, if at any time you experience technical difficulties or issues, just email support@webcastcloud.com.au. That's support@webcastcloud.com.au. Now to begin, I'd like to hand over to Anne Scott from the Treasury to give you an overview of the program's policy. Anne.
So good afternoon everyone.